I am for one who doesn't want to make a video about this. When I make a video like this, or probably an article, it's gonna be a pretty serious topic. But first and foremost, hello, I'm Nico. For those who know me in person, also NicDroid, G25, Lumpia, yeah, that's me. And I've been into the scene for several years, and I'm for one who also trying to keep the community alive. You know, there's a lot of things happening, both inside and outside. But this is not the video to talk about that. Probably in some podcast of some sort. But yeah, I am the one who initiate the trend Save Bimani PH, and I didn't know that this is going to come into this. I thought the community will be just keep going for a long time, as it should be, because the music rhythm game players love to play Beman games, both in home and in of course in arcade. It just so happens that weeks ago we had a news that Ubeat will be pulling out in the Philippines. None of the cabinets will stay. E- Everything will be returned because what the operator said, it's just a loan, and no cab will be offline and all. Yeah, I've been an influencer in Ubeat for a long time, and hearing this is pretty sad. That also makes me think about the future of other music rhythm games that we have right here. Just full disclaimer: this is not to attack that particular arcade operator. I just want to voice out my criticism as well, if how they can do this better. Like, especially if they have the chance to save the community, or if they have to build a new community from the ground up again next time, or even maintain, and even maintain, even even and even to how to maintain the current community that we have, and also to give you the backstory of why this hashtag Save Memani PH came to fruition. That it shouldn't be. Give you the backstory is the feedback from not just from me, but from the community, from the people who played Old and New, to voice out what is happening. We don't want this to be public. This is one of the criticisms, that we don't want it to be publicly announced, but we have no choice, because a lot of people outside of the community asking, why is the music game scene dying in the Philippines now? And some other people still are ignorant with it. Just because they play one particular game, they think they're alive. No, no. Just to take note, I also play Mai Mai. I also play Junitem. I do love those games as well. But we cannot be dependent on one particular game or franchise for that. Sooner or later, you will definitely know that. So anyway, let's start with what went wrong for one. Number one, they release Ubit caps at enormous number of branches. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, but hear me out. How many people do you think will play Ubit? If you're talking about the demographic in Metro Manila, then yes, there'll be a lot of Ubit community, both casual and enthusiast one. But the problem is, you chose a game that doesn't have an English. It's so sad that also Ubit is also the game that never released an English language support. Like recently, Bitmania 2DX, Gitadora, DDR, and even some Voltex. The main problem is the support from the operators, from the technical support, is lackluster. I understand. I met a lot of friends from the particular arcade operator that doing their job really well, but what what's so sad to think as well that they are lacking of people to handle all of them. I understand the feeling, like they're good friends, they're also good friends of mine, and as much as they're doing their hard work to keep the arcade cabinets alive, I know it's not easy for them. So they have to rely on someone who is doing technical on specific branches, right? So that's what happened. Now the third thing that we didn't like about the execution with that is, for one, yes, Ubit is good. It's an approachable game to start with Bemanigistic, but they didn't expand. I kind of wish that, but I don't think this is a one-sided problem as well. I know there's some problem with, with Konami, with, dealing with, renting cabs. I wish they pull it out sooner if they know that it's not gonna work out really well, and then replace it with another game. That probably gonna solve the problem of low plays, low sales. And another thing is maintenance. Going back to the technical thing, well, it's not going great as well. You cannot just replace parts that is meant broken, and do some and expect some magic dust to, like, it gets fixed and all. No, no. But again, this is something that I wouldn't entirely judge, but the community already provided equipment and even replacement parts for it, but they refuse. What I heard from pro players, that they are providing switches, buttons, and even knobs, but the arcade provider refused. So what gives? They wanted to keep they want to keep the players going in the community, and we understand that it's hard to get parts for the caps. I know that. I own arcade style controllers, but we'll get into that later. Why I have arcade controllers in the first place. And then the okay, how about let's go to the public relations then. How can I put it, like, how can I put this lightly? Yeah, there's no other way. They have really bad PR. There's a lot of communities out there, even today, are trying to propose to you, the arcade operator, that we're hosting tournaments. Sometimes you don't have to shell out anything. You just want you to make sure that make sure that they promote the community tournament. Remember, we did that before. I did that before. That works. What happened? And even us, me, working now with a small company and talent network, promoting the music game scene. We even have our own music game team. We have our own content creators that actually promotes how to play those arcade written games that you're from the franchise you're trying to pull out. And that basically connects to why we have arcade controllers to begin with. For one, I have a Sound Voltex controller and a Beatmania 2 controller with me. And because, for one, Konami has a official console version of it, which is the 2DX Infinitas and Sound Voltex Exterior Konasute. You might thinking, so can we pull that? If you're thinking that's the reason why you want to pull out the cabs as well, because of that, you are doing more harm than good, because as much as on paper the games are fully integrated with the arcade, but not all songs, not all features, and even for particular people, they cannot afford the subscription. I mean, for me at least, Infinitas is still pretty expensive. Like the song packs and all, like I could spend like a quarter of that money to, like, to pay the quarter of the whole entire cab to own it, right? But it's better. But you have to consider the fact that they only made that so people can hone at their home and be good at the arcade. I heard this testimony from a friend of mine that, yes, it's inevitably gonna die. The community is gonna die because, people have controllers. But I don't believe that. Just because that they bought controllers, you're gonna stay with, they're gonna stay with that forever. Well, it will be, it's there forever, but but in reality is you cannot those controllers cannot always do the one-to-one experience with an arcade. That's why there's like arcade exclusive content that Konami implements for a long time, even now, not just like in-game content, even like hardware content. Like they require, like, better, their new version of caps, like, lightning model and Valkyrie rollers, just to play that game mode. And those arcade controllers, they cannot replicate that. And another reason why, including myself, bought this controller is not just to become better when I play in an arcade, but to also promote and teach people how to play this game, to encourage people to try this out, no matter the skill that you have as a rhythm game player, no matter where you came from. We wanted to welcome them to the scene. We want to shed light on this. And when we say like shed light, like, yes, in business terms, we wanted to get more sales at your community. But what happened if they go to the arcade? They get disappointed. They get disappointed because, for one, the cabs aren't fully maintained. Number two, there are very few cabs so far from them, especially the good ones like Sound Baltics. It all downs to like the poorly execution. Yeah, you see, this is where you see that it all ties. Sorry, I'm just like both laughing and upset at just like you see that those reasons are tied all together, making a huge hunk of mess, and why there's low sales to begin with from someone who is a loyal customer to you guys. I still believe that you guys can do better, even if this is going to be the inevitable. But I still hope you consider saving the community and take care of the incoming cabs that will be coming again. This is not the one-sided thing, though. Yes, the arcade operator has its faults, and majority of them, unfortunately, the community. Where are you? I want you to comment on this post. Where have you been? How are you for all the many years of playing? Share your testimony on my feed here, so it will be voiced out. For those people who try to like take me down because I think I am just being too arrogant for promoting the scene, making people welcome to the server. Where are you guys now? I'm still here. I have my own life as well. Even if this is not my even if my life isn't relevant to the gaming industry, the music industry, I still do care for the industry. I still do care for the scene. I grew up in the scene. I'm all of the advances that I made in my career, in my life, in my friendship with people started here. It changed my perspective. It changes my perception in socializing people, the do's and the don'ts. But for those people who are against me, who hate me as a person, where are you guys now? Where are you? For those who are trying to like this behind my back and all that, doing personal, be closing doors to people, where are you guys now? Okay, the bottom line is, we as a music game community are holding accountable for this. We could have done so much better if it wasn't for those personal beef. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have to call us someone who really violates your safety and all. That's good. But the other stuff, really bad. And oh boy, Filipinos love that. I am reaching out to every music game community in the Philippines right now to hopefully share the awareness. Make sure that you don't neglect. Make sure that you don't neglect us as well. Not because without us, there won't be my Chunitim and all. No, no, no. Remember, we are one music game community. We have our old differences and all. Sure, you may don't like to play all of them, but but sooner or later, you will realize that I wish I saved that community as well. I could have experienced that a long time ago. Kung kailan huli na ang lahat, saka nyo may realize na, ay, sana nilaro ko pala to. We don't want that. And for me, wanted to keep the generations going in the music community. Medyo, I'm seeing a lot of negligence in the community. They're keeping their community really close to what they wanted to play. Well, that's perfectly fine. That's their preference. But at least, if they wanted to keep the entirety of music game community grow more, we have more people and all. Everybody has to move. We need movement. This is also the reason why we developed Max Speed Philippines. And this is not to promote Max Speed Philippines. If you want to see, then sure. But it's not about showing who's the showing who's the boss on the community. No, no, no. That's not that. We want to show that the music community is still alive, and everybody can be part of it. Old and new, casual, competitive. Everybody is welcome to this movement. I think I said all the things. The surface actually, it's not everything yet. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but I wish I had the time to do so. But thank you for those who listened or watched till the end. I'm not begging to consider to the scene again, but hopefully this will shed light that there's still hope in music game community, and both sides aren't cooperating. And as always, ascend to greatness.